Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, looky what we have here. It is, of course, the Sunday Line Battle, as hosted by the 77Y and friends and invitees. So, as you can see, there is some cavalry over here. Under the command, it is the 34th. And let's just see. There's Lieutenant Slothfather. And let's see, there's Ensign Perry, so he is obviously second. So, and this is the nice snowy map in which the Russians will be fighting the Austrians. Yes, those dastardly ostriches even come out in the snow. Now, if for whatever reason you guys hear any machinery crashing and banging in the background, fear not, it is only my laundry. Now, on the 77Y side, which is Russia, we also have the 34th and the 3rd FK in there as well. And then, moving over to the Austrian side, we have the 47th, the 1st Guard, the NR1, the AB NR7. Let's see, who else? The 59th. Oh, the 47th. So many people in here. The 2E, 93E. Oh, just huge amounts of people. And you can see that the numbers are against the likes of the Russians. However, there will be no Russian Zerg on this occasion, and here is Corporal Vintage with the 47th moving out. Now, well, quite. And here is Colonel Kirby from the aforementioned 47th moving in as cannonballs from Dropkick and Lautano doing a bit of a number on the ABNR7. A couple of those guys catching cannonballs with their faces, very nasty. Nasty indeed. And these fine Lancer gentlemen from the Austrian cavalry, no, the Ostrich cavalry. And this is the NR1 KPL. Fine men, fine horses. And let's see if we can find out what's going on, get an idea. If we go up high, then what we can do is we can start to see a movement of the troops. Now, obviously, we're moving towards the Russians, so we're going to go up high and look around. So, this is equivalent, I suppose, of the total war sort of view of things. So you've got Bacon managing to get sliced well and truly by cannonball. Very unfortunate for him. Now, this no doubt will be the Russian forces. Let's have a look. Yes, looking at their green tunics and white trousers, you can see here them moving very aggressive. Are you happy now? There is no more bacon. Indeed, there is not. So, you can see here, skirmishers moving up on the lines and starting to push pretty hard. You've also got another line over on their left flank, or their right flank, and you've got another line of Russians moving up on the left flank of the skirmishers. So, you can see here that the 77Y and friends are doing a good job of essentially... Oh, whoops, they very nearly shot through Mal. That would have been a tad unfortunate. But now you can see here the line actually moving a little bit in front of the others and starting to push a little bit more aggressively up. So you've got here the potential for a problem. Let's see. Are these Austrians? Yeah, these are Austrians. Oh, look at that. Hartmann catching a cannonball. And now these Austrians are starting to move up and getting a little bit aggressive. So Major Necro from the 1st Guard. Oh, Sergeant Ranger being taken down. And this is nasty as now you get the skirmishers moving up. Dr. Cox gets finished off. Hammerstow also finished off as well as the skirmishers decide to go up against a line. Now, granted, they do have victory in numbers, I suppose you could say. They do have the advantage of being able to fire back. Unfortunately, the 1T Guard got surprised by the skirmishers. There was no way they would have gone up against a full-size line, as that would have been absolute suicide. Oh, Lautano. And killing the 47th Colonel Kirby. So that's not going to go down well. But the 77Y doing their usual sterling job with the artillery. And let's just see, Lieutenant Gaz, and here will be the 34th in their guise of the Lancers. The Russian Lancers, fine men. The Ulan, no doubt. So, now you can see additional forces moving up. The skirmishers moving over onto the right-hand side to support this line here. And this is the 3rd TE Or so the 3rd FK, I should say. And these guys are moving up in a beautiful formation, slightly split open. Here are the skirmishers, and this can't be right because Marksman Umbra is commanding the skirmishers, and he's not dead. Normally, even on the recruitment advert for the 77Y, you can see that the commanding officer of the skirmishers is the first person to die. So that's normally the tradition. And oh, Lotano, goodness me. Lotano is doing a fantastic job on the 47th. That is really nasty for these guys. Let's see. Here's the 58th. There's Colonel Jack. And here is the mighty Austrian artillery. Look at these fellas. Now, they're going to try and actually get a little bit of a handle onto the Russians that are coming towards them. But the problem they're going to have is now they're going to have a push of Russians coming in from the left and the right flanks. Let's see if we can find the artillery. We're in with Posh Gaming. And here we go. This is the artillery along with the defensive... Oh, God. Yeah. So, Auriculus, Syntex, and Jam John are up in the Tower of Power. As you can see, Thomas trying to make a run to the Tower of Power without getting shot. So, as you can see, the 77Y Special Needs Artillery Bus is well and truly underway. And now you've got Midgarder being taken down, bayonetti fun everywhere, and... Let's see if we can find out what's going on as we move over to Hoghams. And it's gone back again. Look at that. Here is the 2E90, E93E. And Dropkick finished off. Let's see if we can find out what's going on. Thomas attempting to stab any attempts for... There we go. He has stopped any attempt by the enemy to actually get up there. So this is going to be an interesting situation. However, the likes of Grenadier Eyeball downstairs. So this is in the lower area, as you can see. So there's the Baker. And defensive going on with Thorin. Thorin goes in for the stab. Beautiful stab by Thorin there. And now you can see Abercrampy, Winter K, Posh Gaming, and Stemersian. Oh, brutal as the 59th charge in. Let's find out what's going on. Where did that come from? It came from the rear. Oh, a fine attack here by the 59th coming in. You can see Recruit Greek and Anglo-Wire. And let's see what's going on. There's Jim Bob. And there is Danielle. Or Danielle, I should say, as commanding officer of the 59th. And Cadet Rifleman has killed one of his teammates. Fantastic stuff. So, here is the stabby goings-on that is currently occurring. As you can see, Hauptmann Mortem, who is trying to deal with the... Oh, look at that. Fantastic. Hauptmann Mortem taking down one of the cavalry. And then finally being finished off. So, this is the attack of the 59th, including a Greek person. Recruit Greek, no less. Now, these guys moving in slowly, taking it carefully. It looks like the artillery section of the 77Y is pretty defensively minded, with Mr. Turtle and, of course, young Thomas. Let's see. So, we watch them as they continue to push up. But, it looks like Thomas has decided to get out on one of the cannons. See if he can maybe get an advantageous kill onto the enemy. Doesn't look like he's going to have that option. So, what is he going to do? He is currently trying to dodge all of those bullets. Oh dear, the Baker. A nice murder onto one of his teammates. Oh, Thomas gets cut to pieces by Bodge from the NR1. Let's see, is that the Bodge? No, that's Invitational Grieg. And he ain't invited no more. As you can see, he is down and out for the count. Yes, I said count. And that, from the NR1, lance in hand. There's Bodge, murderer of Thomas. So, an effective job of neutralising the 77Y artillery by the members of the 59th and their support from the Lancers. So, They've now taken control of Fort Derp, otherwise known as the 77Y defensive structure. And you can see also Russian lancers sniffing around for an opportunity. Now let's see the difference in numbers. 23 to 24. Sorry, to 14. And strangely enough, Malekith is actually still alive, which is almost unheard of in a line battle. Well, to be honest, now that we've mentioned it, it probably won't happen. But the skirmishers are now starting to push up against the artillery section, which we'll just have to wait and see. As now you can see here, behind them, 34th Lancers, there's Ensign Perry holding the colours. And now you can see this small line moving up in support of the skirmishers from the 3TE. Now you can see, quick one, also moving up. Here we go. The skirmishers and what remains of the lines are moving up. There's Private Adma. And that's Rusty Turban running in the opposite direction, as is Marksman Greatsword. And it looks like these guys are going to take some cover behind the rocks. And that's exactly what's going to happen. So they take cover behind the rocks. And now you can see the line starting to move up. Now they've got to be careful because they're going to have combinations of forces there. And this is going to be a tricky situation for them. You can see them taking cover behind the cannons. The cannons will offer plenty of good support. This is going to be the danger. Oh, good shot there by Gamer into Private Louis. This is going to be the danger for the attacking members of the Russian forces. And of course, the mighty Fort Derp, defended by light infantry. And you can see them now starting to engage. More fire coming in, more Russians charging in. I do believe Malekith's horse has been assassinated. Let's see. Yes, that's exactly what's happened. As Marksman Umbra manages to not make it to the end of the round. Oh, look. Oh, a nice stab attempt there by the commanding officer. You can see here Mal going in, trying to do a little bit of stabby goodness. So here we go. Let's see what's going on. Flying horses all over the place. Austrian Lancers trying to do their damage. But you've also got the Russian Lancers in there as well. And of course the Russian battle occurring with the defense of Fort Derp by the Austrian forces. Lance Corporal Griff. What the hell is he doing? Ensign Perry. Oh God. So now you can see here the Russians attempting to defend. Ensign Perry finally finished off for random horse abuse. And as you can hear there in the background, the... Oh, great sword! Taken down by Anak. Anak with a lovely polearm swing there into him. And this is going to be a knotty situation for him. Oh, down goes the horse. Will he make it up in time? He manages to block one attempt. And there we go. Sergeant Harder takes down Ragnar. And then finally Gamer finishes them off. So there's Wilhelm Bochmer. And there goes Sergeant Harder, shot by the 59th. And there's Captain Gamer, managing to survive. Lance Corporal Griff, the last man left standing, defending Fort Derp, taking down Beret Hat Panda. And yeah, they kind of know where he is, but it's a problem getting to him. And as expected, no, there we go. Ranger with the headshot finishes it off, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the first round over. And we shall move on to round number 2. And so, round number 2 returns as Malekith canters past the camera out on a scouting expedition. So he's actually moving quite far ahead of his army. And is scouting around for these fellas. Now, he's going to run into their scout, which will be this guy. Interesting. Look at that. Does he see him? So, Ritter Mui has literally ridden right past Mal and not seen him. So, Mal may have got a little bit lucky there. So let's see. Let's find out what occurs next. As now Mal has got visibility on what the enemy forces are doing. Now you can see the lines. There's Lieutenant Gaz with, of course, his clay pipe as usual. There's Adma. The line here being led by Jelja, of course, as cannons from Krus taking down Kaiselstein. And here is Mal doing his part commanding, part scouting, because obviously the most important thing in these battles is knowing where your enemies are. Now, I was going to say intelligence is probably the most important thing, but this is the 77Y we're talking about. So, as you can see now, the forces here of the Austrian army moving out. And it is, under the command of Nicholas Marshall, it is the 2E93E. So, oh, the 47th, nasty attack there. And here is Major Gomez Friere, and at the back, Bolshevik. Now you can see, there we go, the 47th attacking the members of the 77Y. Posh Gaming 42 gets taken down, but the trouble is these guys are going to have issues, because very soon those skirmishers you can see over on the left hand side are being engaging them, or will be engaging them, with superior accuracy and range, but also the line will be engaging. And there's Bobatini on the end, and there obviously is the late Mr. Posh, and here is Marksman Umbra, one of the commanding officers of these fine skirmishers. And ladies and gentlemen, the marksmen and the skirmishers are now starting to move in. So basically it seems that the opposing forces did not want to have any skirmishers, so essentially they were given a cannonball in the back of the head, but also 2 additional lines. So these are the options that were provided to them, and they have taken them. Now, this is where the 77Y is starting to get quite aggressive. You can see here the cannons of the Austrian Empire, complete with support. Jack Bademeister, Marcel, Killer Muffin, great name, Liker, and Recruit Skip. And you've also got, obviously, Warband Forever. So, let's see what's happening, as now you can see these guys taking a slightly defensive posture. Oh, Thomas has caught a cannonball. No more Fort Derp for Thomas. And now you can see here, this is the 77Y starting to sneak up. Now, what they've got to watch for, there's Mal, being in a very dangerous position. But here come the Lancers, the Russian Lancers moving in, and they are coming under a little bit of fire. They're starting to move away as Grenadier Eyeball gets taken down. Charlie the Turtle, builder of forts, has been killed. And here comes the fire coming in from the 77Y, as Mao basically runs to try and get out of the way, as a massive fire coming in here from the 33rd, the 3TE, FK, and of course the 77Y, as the 2 Lancers decide to get into a nice little battle here. Oh, lovely stab into PFC Rhine there from Something Prince. And now you can see the stabby goings on here from the 77Y up against the Austrians. This is going to be a knotty situation. There's Bacon. Oh, Stemmersine being murdered by Bacon. And now let's just see what's going on. So now you can see here, we are following the Sizzly Bacon as he is making an attack. And here is a massive firepower coming in. Marksman Umbra. And Gnomes Friere trying to defend. The 47th looking to back off a little bit, which is exactly what's happened. Bacon has been cut up by Mr. Ranger. And let's just see what's going on. As Rusty Turban. And there's Jingoistic Diplomat. Good old Jingoistic Diplo. And now you can see a run in here from another line. And this is classic 77Y. The triangulation of crossfire, which is exactly the kind of thing that the 77Y try and do, because this is the best way to take out everybody as quickly as possible. So now you can see the defenders trying to defend against the attacks coming in, as more members of the 77Y are firing against these guys. Now, there's Shira deciding to dismount from his horse, and his laser hunter may be going in for a little bit of canister shots. This guy's got to be careful. There we go. Out goes the canister shot into the white. Let's see. That was Marksman Umbra. There we go. The commanding officer has snuffed it, as per the standard operating procedures for the 77Y. And now you can see them pushing on to the Austrian. And there goes Ranger with Laser Hunter with a nice kill with the cannons. And now they're going to try and defend themselves. As look at that. More fire coming out from the cannons. And it looks like they're coming under a massive amount of fire. And now the stabby goodness continues around the area of the Austrian artillery. So, question is Mal dead yet? No, he's not. How is this possible? Ah, that's why it's not possible. They're after him. They're after him. Oh dear, look, they're after Mal. Oh, nice slice by Mal. Oh, just beautiful. Just beautiful. So there we go. Looks like he's now reforming the lines and getting ready to move out and deal with the remaining members of the Austrian Empire. 17 remain. Let's see if we can lock in on them. Here is the 1TE Guard, so that will be 6 of them. And here, of course, is the more Austrian artillery. No, this is actually the 77Y artillery area that has been overtaken by the Austrians. As you can see, a little bit of random horse assassination going on. So the light infantry here of the 59th are doing a good job. They've intercepted the artillery. They've dealt with the artillery. And now they are forming a defensive position. So, along with the line of the 1TE Guard. So, the first guard there. And let's see if we can find out what formation these guys are going to be attacking. Now, they've obviously got to deal with the Russian Lancers. The Ulans over there as well. Most ineffectual attack ever by Dropkick. Well done, Dropkick. As you can see. I don't know why he doesn't just sharpen the end and then throw it like a javelin, but, you know, it is Dropkick, so our expectations are not high. So, as you can see, there's Martaxus bringing in with the colours, and now you can see Dropkick moving in with a nice little line here of Mason, Syntex, and Fortune Zero moving out as well. So, Captain Gamer manages to catch a bullet, and here comes a rush of lines and skirmishers up on the left-hand flank along with Mal, and you can see them essentially attacking from multiple directions. Oh, Requiem catches a bullet from McMuffin. He has been muffinated, and more fire is going into these guys. As you can see, Danielle gets taken down. The commanding officer of the 59th has been killed. Now they move back towards the defensive structure of the 77Y Fort Derp. And this is where they are now going to close in from multiple directions. Malekith with sword high taking down Lance Corporal Griff. And this is the Austrians being descended upon from all directions by horse, by... Oh, a lovely little team kill by Abercrampy onto Cat Oblivion there. Yeah. Pretty nasty. Now, there is one Austrian remaining. But the question is, where is that Austrian? There he is. Let's see if we can lock in on him. And he has been finished off by White Knight. And we move on to the next round. And so, round number 3, let's move in and have a look at the Austrians at the spawn. So this is the Austrian spawn. And you can see the guys all sorting themselves out into their various regimental organisations, and this will, as you can see from the screen, the last round on this map, there will then be a map change for rounds 4 and 5. So, as you can see here, the guys getting themselves organised, the battle cries going out, the AFKers standing there and scratching testicles, and there's Lyra heartstrings moving out as well. So you can see a few guys have died at spawn. Now it could be they've been shot for cowardice or disconnected. So here is 47th Lieutenant Kirby, I should say. Here is, of course, also the light of the 59th. He seems to be just standing there with a very fine chunky moustache. And here is the 58th, under Lieutenant Colonel Imperial, as you can see here from the 58th. A fine female, as you can see, with the bunches of hair. And over you can see Laser Hunter trying to bounce that cannonball. As you can see, oh, the bouncing cannonballs of the 77Y already making an appearance. And here is a fine engineer, Lowney, from the NR7, putting in those ramparts to stop those cannonballs. Very important job here by the engineers. So he's obviously doing his work there. And just putting in these ramparts, you can see now, oh, look at that! Literally a rampart got right between the two of them. Bounced between the two cannons, hitting the hill on the other side. So the 77Y, with their usual accuracy with the cannons and fine. And this guy, obviously, he's not standing still. He's moving around, he's doing his digging because he needs to, because that is now a very strong position. And he's building those ramparts up. So Lowney with a fine job, cheroot in mouth, and is now focusing his attention. So you can see here the Austrian artillery engaging members of the Russian army as they move towards this area. So now you can see the Austrians lining up. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the skirmishers. Okay, there was Dr. Cox. He got taken down by Cesar. And now you can see more fire coming in as Bobatini takes down Lolmanic. And you can see here massive amounts of fire as the Russians get very, very aggressive against the Austrians. Pushing down on this right flank with a serious, intense push from the forces as Colonel Kirby gets taken down as well. Now, the question I'm wondering is, where are the remaining members of the 77Y and the 3TE and the 40 and the 34th? Because I'm guessing, I'd be surprised if this was an entire commitment of the Russian forces. You could see here more members of the Austrians moving back as Dropkick manages to sail some cannonballs over the top. And you can see here the Cannoneers, Einsheimer Gamer, or Entenmeier Gamer, Warband Forever. And this is going to be a defensive arrangement here by the engineer for the Cannoneers, for obvious reasons. The light infantry now firing back against the Russians. Major Necro from the 1st Guard. Also returning fire. Fusilier Bismarck taking down Recruit Imithal. And poor old Cesar is finished off by El Cid. So you can see here the Russians pushing on this right flank, maybe up the centre a little bit. Line over on the far right hand flank. Skirmishers sort of in the centre. And cannons obviously continuing to fire. But you can now see over here additional work being done. So let's see. This is another line of the Russians under the command of Lieutenant Gaz. So they might be looking to try and engage those horses, which is looking what they're doing. Good shot, Gaz. But they've got to watch out for these guys, because these guys, it could get nasty. There we go. The two lines are beginning. And there we go. The fire goes in. J-Wall, Rail. Martax has finished off as well. This is a very knotty situation for this line. And this was a good moment. And there we go. The charge is given. And they managed to stand in line just before the charge. Oh, good reaction there by the 77Y, and Gaz. Bravehead gets taken down by Murderman. Oh, cannonballs. And drop kick with a nice kill onto Mercenary Captain. So, that was a very close moment for the 77Y over there on the far right-hand side. They were outflanked by the Austrians, but they managed to turn it around. However, they have lost a significant number of their forces as a result of that engagement. So, let's see what happens. There we go. Down goes Lieutenant Colonel Imperial. And the final remaining members of the 77Y line, with Gaz, who managed to survive. So a small line of 5 men will be moving. And you can see, oh, the cannon! Drop kick taking down Major Necro from the rear. Oh, these guys have got to be very careful. They're standing in a line facing towards the 77Y cannons. That's a very, very dangerous situation, as obviously those people who remember being doom-fingered will probably recall. So, now, you can see here the Austrians on the back foot. They do have roughly equal numbers, but they are moving back in this direction, as Malekith manages to catch a bullet from Roger McMuffin. So Malekith has been muffinated. Captain Gamer also catching a bullet as well. So the Austrians, let's see what's going on here. There he is. No, that's not him. Anyway, his corpse has probably disappeared now, so. Let's see, as you can see, more fire coming in. Here's the attack of Gaz's line, coming in with the bayonets drawn. As you can see here, more stabbing going on as Gaz gets taken down by Olutz. The Baker gets taken down by Hit and Blast. And look at this massive stabby goings on around the Austrian artillery section. There's an engineer with his fine axe, chucks down his spade, gets ready to defend himself. Decides to cheese it in the opposite direction, turns grab at a gun, and can now defend himself a little bit better. As you can see him trying to defend himself, Lowney. Going in for that all-important stab, going in for the lunge. Can he get that all-important first hit? Who's he fighting against? It's Kiko Franca from the 77Y. Oh, Kiko with a fantastic stab into his side. And now Kiko is fighting against multiple members of the Austrian army. And this may not turn out for Kiko as good as he would have liked. And look at him trying to defend himself, but finally finished off. And you can see here more members of the skirmishers, rifle butts ready. There's Big Big. Rusty Turban is finished off. And Big Big manages to pick up one of the muskets as one of his teammates is barged to the floor. So the extra reach that these guns provide them with the bayonet on the end means they can deal with the lances, or possibly not. So, now, this is going to be a problem. Let's look at the numbers. 16 versus 13. And here's Kaiselstein. I wonder if he's related to Eisenstein. But we'll find out. There is their enemy, as the cannons go in the general direction. Oh, look at that bouncing ball. Oh, look at that. That's the continual tap tap sort of effect there, is as the cannonball starts to slow down because of the friction generated by hitting the ground. And here is Thomas leading Jam John, Syntax, Fortune Zero, Mason, Rostafari, Ben Skull 90, and of course the builder of Fort Derp, Monsieur Turtle. So there's Chuck the Turtle there. And let's see what happens, because it is roughly equal numbers. The 77Y has an advantage of only 3, but the problem is these guys have the cannons and these guys have the lancers, and that could be an issue for them. But we'll wait and see what happens. So, the cannonball fire continues to come in. You can see here there's Luberkill loading his rifle. And this guy here, Kaiserstein, looking for a target. But what he doesn't know is his target's over here. Getting ready to move. There is Thomas. And the fire goes into Thomas already. So Thomas is now leading the charge. Here comes the line behind him. So brave Sir Thomas leading the charge forward against the Austrian forces. The line's breaking up, probably gonna... Oh, Syntex shot by Telnitz. They're down to 14. 15 even. The numbers are being equalised. But the cannons also coming in from the likes of the 77Y artillery. So they're going to have to deal with this guy out here on the flank, Lyra Heartstrings. And Dropkick killing his commanding officer in the artillery. Just beautiful. Poor Thomas. Oh, just fantastic. Good God. Good job, Mr. Dropkick. Oh, just brilliant. Can't wait to see that comment on the on Mao's version of this competition. Oh, let's see what's going on. Charlie the Turtle with a nice stab into the horses, but he's going to try and get the other guy. And Charlie the Turtle is trying to defend himself. And there's a team kill in there as well. So let's see. 9 versus 7 right now. Ah, it's a Top Hat Penguin from the 34th. So, White Knight, Dropkick, Slayer Boy, and Cruz from the 77Y. Oh, look at that! Bronub taken down from the NR1. So, Awesome Sauce Crunk. These guys are going to have to do something at some point. Because otherwise this could be a long story. Here we go. I think everyone's getting ready to charge. Let's wait and see. Oh God. Yeah, we are now currently looking at a horse's ass. What can I say? So, yeah, I think these guys need to start charging sort of sharpish. Oh. Cannonball going in the general direction, and he dodged it. So there is the murderer of his commanding officer, Mr. Dropkick. Fine sideboards indeed. So let's see if he manages to kill anyone else on his side. Oh! Manages to get guard Lutz. So shot there by Dropkick. And let's find out what's going on, as here is Lyra Heartstrings. Pardon me. This has got to be the slowest stab ever in history by Top Hat Penguin. With Auriculus in there as well. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Oh dear. Lautano with a fantastic shot. Lautano finally gets taken down. And it looks to be 6 versus 4 right now. And here's the 4 member of the Russians. Oh, there we go. Kaiserstein is finished off. Another Austrian appearing from behind a rock. Who is that? Hello, Matthias from the 59th. And behind the tree is Mr. Dropkick. So, now the question is whether or not we're going to try and blow that rock apart. Let's see. That would be a kind of a yes, really. As poor old Matthias managed to catch that cannonball with his face. So, here we go. A run-in from the final cavalry. Ho! Dodged by the cavalry. Yet another dodge. You can see these guys. Here they go. They're trying to turn those cannons. Telnet's taking down Slayer Boy. And the charge begins. Oh, brilliant. Oh, man. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. But he killed 3 of the enemy. And the 77Y managed to take that. I suppose that was karma for Dropkick killing his commanding officer. Anyway, it's time for a new map, ladies and gentlemen. And so, after a map change, you can see, the map looks slightly different. A lot less snow, but nice rolling hills, but not too high. So, enough to sort of hide your forces. There's Mr. Eye Patch, young Malekith there. And he's about to run into that guy as well. So, but, you know, also not so high that it's absolutely impossible. So there's parts. And here are the members of the Austrian cavalry. And it looks like they're actually hussars this time as opposed to lancers. So, let's see. Aha, look at this. It's a bunch of partisans. Look at these peasants. And here, obviously, are more. So this is the equivalent of what you see in Rome 2. These are the plebs. So you can see here a bit of discipline being handed out by the ham. So now you can see the skirmishers pushing up under Slayer, who appears to be leading that line. And a nice team kill to start the day. The Russian lancers remaining behind the peasants, obviously, should you wish to run them over. Oh, what's going on? There's a little bit of a set to occurring. Here we go, and it looks like a surprise here onto the members of the, yeah, it's the Russian artillery, has been jumped. And you can see Fortune Zero doing his best to defend. Mal also trying to defend Fort Derp against this attack from the Austrians. Slayer Boy is finished off. And here, obviously, are the Prussians. Oh, dear. Oh, no, his horse. Oh, God. Oh, dear, look at that. Poor horsey. And he's got his head stuck in the horse now, so that's a very unfortunate situation. So, poor horsey. And there's Mal for taking it very, very carefully, like running in front of the cannons. And more defences from Hurt and Ammon And now you can hear the fire in the background. So, Fort Derp is continuing. Let's just look around for more opportunities. Oh, there we go. In fact, no. Commanding officer is not dead, which is almost unheard of in 77Y battles. And there's Thomas disciplining his team. And here we go. So here are some skirmishers in the 47th. So it looks like the 47th have actually decided to go as skirmishers. So they're going to be using the rifles and pushing back against the enemy. As Jingoistic Diplo takes down Jakustov. And there's Lieutenant Gaz, head of the plebs. Yeah, you just knew it was Gaz, really, didn't you? So now you can hear Slayer and the rest of the skirmishers and the line moving up. So these guys obviously getting into the line organisation from the 3TE and chucking a massive amounts of fire. And as you can see, Slayer managing to catch a bullet. So there we go. The fine traditions of the 77Y skirmishers. And here come the peasants. Look out, ladies and gentlemen. The peasants are charging. Well, maybe not Adma, but more peasants are charging. So here we go. Dodging left and right, wearing turbans and top hats and native dress. And here are the skirmishers trying to defend. Here's Lieutenant Grey. Avior is taken down. There's Balls making a run for it. You would have thought he'd have more stones than that and stay and fight, but apparently not. There's Imath also then defending as the 77Y partisans are charging in. Selasosis is taken down. Mercenary captain with an extremely large pole. Oh, in goes the bottle. That was Radwell going in there with the bottle. And out comes the rifle butts. Rifle butts are going in. Oh, Lieutenant Gamer, Captain Gamer I should say, gets taken down. And here's Radwell going mad with the rifle butt. As Malekith gets shot by Muffin again. Oh, it's the second time. It's the second time he's been killed by the Muffins. Muffins are bad for you, Mal. Muffins are bad for you. So let's see what's going on. As you can see here, mass battle going on. 36 versus 42. So the Russians are at the disadvantage. Mercenary captain trying to deal. Oh, rifle butt swing there. Going in for the overhead and catching the bayonet. So, in comes the line. You can see here, Eyeball moving in. Posh Gaming. And let's just see what's going on. There is Cadet Stemersian. There went Cadet Stemersian. Along with Kiko Franca. And you can see here Bismarck from the 3rd TE. Or 3rd FK I should say. There's Imath. Being attacked. Oh, stabbed to death. Oh, beautiful stabbing. Who is that? That was McMuffin. And who is that man? Who just killed 3 people. There's Eyeball. He has well and truly got their eyeball on you. Let's see, he's going in. Oh, rifle butt onto Eyeball. And a nice kill there by the Baker and Hoghams. And a final stab. Let's see what's going on. How many numbers? 11 and 14. Oh, there we go. A nice team kill. There are the Russian Lancers. There's Skirmisher, Ida Skyle. And now it looks to be very fast running away from these men. So we follow the Russian Lancers. And you can see here the Lancers going up against the Russians. Obviously, this is a tricky situation. And it is polearm versus polearm. Look at these guys. Hussars all over the place against Uhlans. Going to be a dangerous situation for them. As they don't have the reach of the polearm, all they got to do is use that trusty sabre once or twice and they can take the horse down. As these guys are about to have a very bad day. As indeed he has. As Galloway gets taken down and the fire goes out. Oh, look at that. Fantastic Mr. Jake. Head first off the top of the horse. And a nice stab into Ensign Perry. He's going to die. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, okay, maybe he will. As Cannades there gets taken down. As Ragnar is also moving in. And more stabbing occurring. Here's one of the skirmishers going after one of the last members of the Austrian army. Here's our last man, I think. No, last 2 or 3. So, here are the remaining 3 Austrians. 2 on horse, 1 on foot. Ah, indeed. And it is Baslows. He's got to watch himself. He's got a large man with a pole after him. And that's Abercrombie. Not to be trusted with a pole. You can see him fighting. Oh, nearly. Oh, barged to the floor by the horse from his own team. As here's Mercenary Bronub. And Invitational Grieg. 2 Austrians versus 2 Russians. They're just looking for an opportunity to get in there. I wouldn't do that. No showboating. It will... Now, they could actually get off their horses and fight, but that might lose them their disadvantage. But we'll wait and see. As this could go on for a while. And people could be getting dizzy. Oh, there we go. So 1 is on foot. And 1 remains on horse. Mercenary Bronub. Getting in there up and close and personal. There we go. 1 slice. 2 slices into the baker. Now it's 2v1. This is where it's going to get very difficult for Corporal Ryan. He's barged to the floor and sliced once. Goes in for the kick. Manages to block it. Manages to block it again, but can't get the final block. And there we go. That has been it for this evening. Thank you for watching this line battle as hosted by the 77Y. I hope you've enjoyed. And we will see you again for more. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.